there, travel lovers. Hi there. So first of all, we hope that you're all safe, all staying indoors.
Yeah.
What a crazy world we're living in right now.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're actually making this video just to update you on what's going on with us, guys.
Yeah, so we're currently in the UK. I think you can tell from the background. We're currently at my nan's house drinking a cup of tea.
So English.
So where should we start to tell the story? Because there's a lot that happened in the last week, I would say.
Maybe of our time at the airport when we were trying to leave Malaysia and try to go to India.
Okay, let's start there then. So this is, we've got some notes here so we don't forget. So this is March the 7th.
So on the 7th of March, we were in Kuala Lumpur's airport. We were on the way to India. The situation was kind of normal. Yes, people were wearing masks and some of them were wearing gloves, but it was nothing too crazy, nothing too ridiculous. People were still traveling.
Yeah, excited to be going on their holidays as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were kind of in the same boat, just hoping to go to India and continue on with our travels as normal.
A bit oblivious maybe. Now looking back on it, maybe a bit oblivious.
Yes.
Maybe.
Talking of our arrival to India, you may be wondering if we had any checks done. And yes, we have, guys. I would say that Indian government is taking this really, really seriously. We had to fill in 3 different forms. They've checked our temperature.
Yeah, it was quite invasive when we arrived.
Yeah, they haven't given us any documents to say that we're okay, but they just let us on our way. When we were trying to go through Indian immigration, they asked us if we've been to Italy, Japan, China, Korea. Obviously we said no to all of the above, but we didn't really have any problems of getting into India, I would say.
So on the very early hours of March the 8th, which was Justina's birthday, she just turned 27, we basically decided to start our trip in Kerala, and we had planned this amazing boat trip in the backwaters of Kerala, and we actually did that. We went away for 1 night, 2 days.
Yeah, and it was one of the best trips of our lives, I would say. It was absolutely really magical.
Again, we have filmed all of this, but we need to put this video out before we get to that. So after our backwaters trip, we extended Justina's birthday to spending 2 nights at Fort Kochi Hotel, which was, again, another
magical experience.
It was incredible. We had 2 nights there and we relaxed, we walked around, and it was really amazing. And we were blown away with what Kerala had to offer.
Absolutely.
Again, completely oblivious to what was going on because we were just having such a good time.
We were like in our little bubble of happiness, just enjoying everything, filming everything, being very cheerful and happy.
Yes.
And yeah, it was just like amazing, like everything was as normal. The only thing that I would say when we were trying to explore the Fort Kochi area, which is quite touristy, we've noticed that there weren't that many tourists. The streets were really empty.
One of the churches there had also put a sign on the outside saying no visitors allowed. I think we both presumed that it was maybe under maintenance or something.
Or due to some religious reasons, who knows.
But I did ask someone and he said, no, it's because of the coronavirus. They're not allowing any tourists inside. And we were like, what? This is just bizarre.
So on March the 10th, we realized that things weren't as normal as they are usually in India. Something was not right. Not many people are visiting the areas that are usually very touristy. Like Misha said, no tourists allowed to enter these churches. What the hell is going on, basically? So on March 11th, we've left Fort Kochi and we've traveled to Kochi city. We've checked into this really nice hotel, really good reviews, really nice rooms, really comfortable. But as soon as we entered the premises, we realized that the staff members were looking at us as like some sort of a threat. We basically didn't feel welcome whatsoever. They didn't even say hello to us. How are you guys?
It was horrible, actually.
They basically attacked us with all of these questions. Where have you been? Have you got any health documents to prove that you haven't got this coronavirus? After we basically saying like we're healthy, like we've been here and there, they just gave us the room key and that's it. We were on our way to our hotel room.
Didn't explain anything about the hotel, just was trying to get rid of us basically.
Yeah, so really, really bad customer service from them. but only because of this crazy coronavirus. I feel like
paranoid.
Everyone's so paranoid, and especially when they see tourists, they think, okay, they must be coming from Europe, so they must be bringing this coronavirus with them. So when we arrived to our room, we basically realized that there is a lot going on the news, on social media, which made us even more paranoid of our situation, like what the hell is going on in this world. But we're like, you know what, we still got so many things to catch up on, we've got so much work to do. Let's just stay indoors for a couple of days until all of this blows over, and basically just carry on working, because for us it's kind of normal sometimes just to stay in a hotel room for like 2-3 days and work and then go exploring. So we're like, okay, fair enough, we're just gonna do that and wait it all out.
I'm not good at this.
You are.
Teach us some Indian dance. Is that how you dance? No.
So 2 days later, we watch the news and we find out that the Indian government has suspended any new travellers into India until April the 15th. So we were like, okay, so this is getting a bit serious now. Some countries are starting to, you know, shut down their borders. So let's just stay in this hotel even more then.
Exactly. We thought like, you know what, let's just continue staying here. We have really nice room. We have really fast Wi-Fi. We've got restaurant upstairs. We have a pool. We have in-room dining and all of that, and it wasn't so expensive, so we're like, okay, we'll be able to afford this until maybe like April or something.
We were absolutely comfortable to just be staying in that hotel for a whole month.
So we basically decided to self-isolate ourselves. This was our personal decision, not to go exploring, not to travel anywhere, just stay indoors. Not because maybe we have coronavirus and it might be very serious to us, but what if like somebody else has it, or maybe like we also carry something and we can pass it on to someone else. We just thought it's the safest option for us to stay indoors and not go anywhere.
As were so many others that we've been talking to as well, other travel vloggers and bloggers. I think everyone had the same mindset, no matter where they were in the world, they were just going to stay where they were and stay put and stay safe.
And I think by this time, the message has spread across the world saying, come on guys, try to stay at home for as much as possible. This is not just for us, but for everyone. Like we would watch some news from the UK, from the US. People were starting to talk about self-isolation and social distancing. So people were kind of like trying to stay at home. Same with us, we're just trying to stay in a hotel, not go anywhere, and that's it. Okay, so March 17th, we wake up as normal. We are about to go get some breakfast. We sit down and we realize that there is no normal breakfast buffet as what we were already getting used to.
Sounds like we're so privileged when we say that, but
it was absolutely normal. So with our stay, we get breakfast included, and that's breakfast buffet, guys. So oh my gosh, so many options to choose from. The food is absolutely amazing there, and we're like, okay, so no buffet for today. Oh well. So then, okay, we finish our breakfast, and then we basically get a call from the reception saying, hey guys, can you actually move rooms? We are closing a couple of floors, so we'd like you to go to floor 2 if that's okay with you. Like, yeah, no problem, we understand, you know, the situation is kind of weird right now, so we don't mind just going to another floor as long as we have internet and comfortable room. So then we also went down to the reception and said, just to make sure guys, your hotel is not closing down, everything's gonna be as normal, right? They're like, yes, don't worry, we're not closing down, everything as normal.
Okay, so then what happened 2 hours later then,
Well,
Justina?
then 2 hours later we receive another call saying, I'm so sorry, but yes, we are closing down. We've just received an order from the government asking us to shut down the hotel. So guys, you will have to leave the premises. Your checkout time is tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
And that was it, basically.
And that was it. That was when the alarm bells were ringing really, really loud.
Like, oh my god.
Like, ooh.
Actually, sorry to say, actually, we have the order from the government.
Oh my
We need to
god,
close it
really?
out in the afternoon.
So this afternoon?
Yes, tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow. Okay.
He said it's not gonna close today.
Only after that the
I know.
Just before they are given the paper
Wow.
Really? That's amazing.
Is it everywhere in India or just here in Kerala?
in Kerala.
Only in Kerala.
Only in Kerala.
Okay.
What do you think we should do then?
Yeah, what do you recommend for us to do?
It's all hotels in Kerala,
We
yeah?
don't have any idea of what's now the hotel is working on it.
Wow.
What are
Okay.
you gonna do? You're just gonna go home and stay at home?
Just a minute, sir. Please be a minute.
You don't know what to say, do you? Our little plan of staying in this hotel was no more. We couldn't do this anymore.
Also, we thought, what if they're lying to us? Because
Yeah.
we thought, okay, they were a little bit weird with us from the beginning.
Yes.
Let's try and call some other hotels in Kerala to see if they would have us. And you know what, guys? Every single hotel that we've called said the same thing. Sorry, no foreigners allowed. We're also shutting down. So there was basically nowhere for us to stay in Kerala. That is the case in your hotel as well.
Yeah, we can't allow foreigners.
Now you may be thinking like, why then you didn't decide to go somewhere else in India, maybe to another state?
yeah.
But I think we were quite smart enough to realize that what if all of this is gonna affect the whole of India?
Yeah.
What if all of this is gonna happen in other states of India? We didn't want to risk. So instead, guys, we decided to go home, to fly
Yeah.
back to England.
Because at that point, there was literally no other country left.
Yeah.
We even went on the map and
Yeah.
we were like pointing at countries, you know, have they closed its borders? Have they closed its borders?
Yep, they have. Yep, they have.
They have. Every single country that we were willing to go to had already closed its borders.
And I even...
Sorry, what are you going to say?
And I even came up with this really, really cute quote, when the world is suddenly too small.
Yeah, and it was so true looking at that map.
So after that call, we started looking for some flights
Yeah.
to see what is the best option for us, what is the cheapest option, how can we actually fly to England as soon as possible, because at that time we didn't even want to stay there anymore.
No.
We were kind of like really, really sick and tired of all this coronavirus situation, and we just
Yeah.
wanted to be safe in England with our family, with our friends. We're like, okay, let's go home as soon as possible. Now, during this time, whilst we were looking for the flights, we've also received a message from our viewers on Instagram. There were this lovely British couple saying, hey guys, how are you coping in Kerala? We've just been blue lighted to one of the hospitals and they're basically putting us into quarantine. We were like, what?
Yeah.
And how it happened to them, Isha, maybe tell our viewers, like just
Yeah.
in case it happened to somebody else in Kerala.
So this couple had been travelling from Goa to Kerala by train. And when they got off the train, they were trying to get to their hotel. Now, bearing in mind the hotel had already closed due to the circumstances, they were just kind of wondering where to go.
Yeah,
when
what
they
to
were
do, yeah.
Just basically waiting outside of the train station.
Yeah.
And whilst they were there, I think some locals had called up the authorities to say, look, there's foreigners at the train station, you need to come and get them. Because then a couple of minutes later, the ambulance arrived and put them in the ambulance and they were blue lighted to this hospital.
So this couple had basically messaged us from the hospital in their quarantine saying, how are you guys? We're like, okay guys, we need to call you. We need to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
So then we basically had this WhatsApp call and they said, yeah, like we're here. It's been like, what, 8 hours or something like that?
Yeah.
They're actually okay, but they're not doing like any tests or anything like that.
They're just keeping us in this room,
Yeah,
basically.
so at that time they didn't know what was about to happen to them, like how
Yeah.
long they're gonna be there. So by that time we started to panic like crazy. We
Yeah.
didn't want to leave our hotel room. We didn't want to go anywhere in the streets because we thought the same thing may happen to us. And all we wanted to do is just fly back to England,
Yes,
try to leave
ASAP.
India as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So in saying that, we didn't even book our flights online because we were worried that they're not gonna allow us to leave India.
Yeah.
What if they're gonna start doing some checks for us or put us in a hospital? So we thought, okay, the safest thing would be for
Do you
us.
hear what you're saying? We were scared of us being thrown into this hospital. It sounds like some sort of scary movie.
I know.
Like people just out to get us.
I keep telling you, Misha, this is
Yeah.
like some sort of a apocalyptic movie that we're
Yeah.
living in right now.
I think what we were scared of the most is that couple didn't have any symptoms, and they
Yeah.
were just basically going on their merry
True,
way, and they
true.
were basically caught by the authorities. And I think that's what really scared us the most.
Yeah.
It was just the basic fact that they were foreign and they were seen as a threat to society at that
Yeah.
moment. And I think that's what was so scary and dangerous to us, wasn't it?
absolutely. So we decided to go to the airport
Yeah.
and we went to the help desk and said, hey guys, we're looking at booking this flight. Is
Yeah.
this flight okay? Is it still confirmed? Is it still scheduled as normal? Can we actually go ahead and book this flight?
Yeah, will you let us fly, basically?
Yeah, just to make sure you're not gonna
Yeah.
take us us and do anything to us. And they're like, yeah, everything is normal. Like, you can go ahead and book this flight.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're like looking at this flight. Then soon enough, we realized that this flight is gonna cost us over £1,000, and that was a flight at 4:20 in the morning
Of that same day.
So like literally in the next maybe 5 hours, we're like, we can't afford this. We
No.
don't have over £1,000 anywhere in our savings account. Like, we can't do this basically.
No.
Then we started looking for another flight, and we saw a cheaper flight for about £600 for both of us that is due to leave within the next 27 hours.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, let's just do it. Whilst we've got some seats, let's book it, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do next. So we booked the flight, everything's okay, but the next problem is, what do we do for the next 27 hours? Because we are not allowed to go into the airport until our flight is maybe 4 or 5 hours due to fly out, basically.
Yeah, and plus the hotels are now closed.
I said to Misha from the very beginning,
Horrible.
I am not leaving the premises of the airport.
No.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna stay here on this chair and just wait it all out. Wait 27 hours.
And we kind of did that, but we did move away into this like restaurant,
Which
that's
was
part
still,
of the airport.
part of the airport.
But
yeah.
that was probably the most uncomfortable 27 hours of our lives.
And not because we didn't have a bed, not because
Not that, no.
it was hot, cold, or anything like that. Only because people were staring at us 24/7.
And in a very bad way,
In
guys.
a very, very
yeah.
bad, threatening way. They were kind of like refusing to serve us sometimes. They were like looking at us like we're this big coronavirus
Yeah,
and we're gonna infect
infecting the
them.
whole restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, it was so intimidating.
Yeah, it was.
But guys, what I also wanted to say is that when we arrived to Kerala, from the very beginning, we were in awe of people's friendliness
Oh,
and how
yeah, absolutely,
welcoming they were.
Yeah.
We're like, wow, I can't believe people are so nice here. We were loving people in Kerala. We were loving the food, laid backness. This was obviously all before the madness began, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, but now with this coronavirus, like people's attitudes definitely changed towards us,
Yes.
and you know, people were giggling and gossiping
and pointing at us and basically talking about us.
It was just horrible.
It
that
was
27
horrible.
hours. And it even ended with the restaurant owner coming up to us and saying, "What's your problem, guys?"
Yes.
And we were like, "There's no problem." It's like, "You can't stay here." And we were like, "Okay, let's pack and go," basically, because he was just like an asshole about it.
Yeah, well, luckily our flight was due to leave anyway within the
Yeah.
next 4 hours. So we're like, you know what, let's just try and go to the airport now, see if they're gonna let us in. Luckily they did, but we just left that area. We basically went to the airport, we waited for another 2 or 3 hours,
Yeah.
and then we were managed to check in, get on our flight, and basically traveled from Kochi to Dubai, from Dubai to London Stansted.
Yeah, and once we got in the airport, actually, it didn't feel as bad. It didn't
Yeah.
feel as tense.
Yeah.
I think once we got in, we also felt more relaxed because we knew that we were on our way.
Yeah, actually our flight was pretty smooth. There were no delays,
Yeah.
no cancellations, everything went as planned. Yes, the atmosphere on the plane was a bit weird. The staff members were also quite miserable. Maybe that was their last flight, who knows?
Yeah, very understandable.
They were wearing masks, they weren't really interacting that well with customers, which is again understandable, but
and that's another reason why we didn't film that entire segment,
Yes.
because it just didn't feel right.
you're
and-
right. We actually didn't want to film anything just in case Indian authorities or any other authorities will come
Yeah.
up to us and say, hey guys, what are you doing? So
Yeah.
that's why, guys, we didn't really film that much during this craziness. That's why it's easier for us to do this update now
Yeah.
from this house where we feel safe.
Yeah, true.
Okay guys, so after endless amounts of hours, we've arrived to London Stansted.
55 hours at this
Yeah,
point.
like I said, endless amounts of hours. And we realized that there were no checks, there were no questions at London Stansted.
No.
Nobody was bothered where we're coming from. Nobody was bothered about our health. Nothing
it was way
whatsoever.
actually way too relaxed. way to
Yes.
relax. That's our opinion.
Yes.
Like, people were coming back from all parts of the world.
Yes.
And there was no checks,
Like,
nothing.
obviously, I
good.
was really, really happy to know that I'm going to be able to get through with no problems.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my worries that, okay, this Brexit thing is happening and I don't have citizenship for the UK and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Am I going to get in? That's another whole problem, but no problems whatsoever.
I just
So
walked straight in.
really, really
Yeah.
smooth. Yeah. So then that's it. We basically arrived and then our friend came to pick us up. That was amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
Izzy, if you're watching, thanks for everything.
Superstar, yeah.
And also, guys, when we arrived to London Stansted, we realized that we don't really have anywhere to go. Normally, when we go back to England, we just crash at my dad's
On the sofa,
sofa. We have this living room to ourselves, which is not the most comfortable place, but it's still somewhere for us to go.
Especially for our short-term visits.
Exactly.
Which it normally is a short-term visit.
Very short visit. So my dad is living with some other people, and unfortunately they were quite worried that we might be infected, and they said, I'm so sorry, but we don't want them in the house, and if they're gonna come, we'll probably have to put ourselves into self-quarantine, we're gonna lose our jobs.
Yeah.
And the list went on and on and on, and basically it was made clear to us that we can't go to our normal place where we normally go to.
Yeah.
So then Misha put a little message on Facebook saying, hey guys, we're really struggling, we have nowhere to go,
Yeah.
like, would anyone have us? And luckily, what happened, Misha?
Luckily, my nan has just come back from the US and she has been informed that she has to self-isolate. So at the moment, she's at her boyfriend's house for about 2 weeks, and she started that from Tuesday, which means that her house is completely free,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Obviously, it's sad that my nan is not here in her own home
Yeah.
with us, so we can give her a massive hug, but her house is free for us to also do this self-isolation
Yeah.
thing, because we need to do it, because no one
Yeah.
wants to come and see us.
No.
He's got the essentials in, like beer, Dad. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. So look, spaghetti bolognese, spaghetti hoops.
Wow. So what was the shops like then?
There's nothing, sugar,
Yeah. What couldn't you get? No bread, no eggs,
no
no
bread, no eggs, no,
toilet roll?
no chance.
Really?
Overland's got some.
I don't know if she has, but
Toilet roll and kitchen.
we'll just have to go toilet and jump in the shower,
Yeah,
I
you
think.
just have to nip over Tesco's one morning really early and hope
Yeah.
you get in. Tesco's
Yeah.
only across the road, isn't it?
Yeah. Was it busy at the shops?
Yeah, they're all going mental.
Was there loads of queues?
No, they just think it's the last day of life.
Yeah, Justina, Ellie's like, I need to leave. Need to have social distancing. She was walking around with her jumper over her
Right.
mouth.
So she just left
Yeah.
because of lads.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't know what we're carrying with us, Misha. Yeah, we've been exposed to so many people.
Because you've been on a plane. People that come
Yeah.
back from a plane and then 4
Well,
days
how else
later.
can we come back home,
I know,
isn't
but
it,
because,
Gary?
yeah, but 4 days later, people
Yeah.
ended up sick that's been on
Yeah.
that plane.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why, because being on a plane in a confined space,
Yeah.
Exactly.
honestly, you go anywhere now.
There was no social distancing there.
I've got a load of food for
Yeah,
you.
Dad's got
Oh my
so
God,
much
thank
stuff,
you so
Justina,
much.
yeah.
I've even got your beer.
Oh my God. I'm actually surprised you found all of this.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying,
A
yeah.
lot of stuff like the ones probably like eggs and bread and things
Yeah,
like that. I managed
yeah.
to get 4 runs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, to make
that
some
is
That was the
more
sandwiches.
last
than
one,
Yeah.
and that milk was the last one on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's more than
That was
enough.
actually
yeah.
the last one.
Yeah.
You just can't be exotic with your food
No, no.
anymore. You can't be like mixing loads of
But we're
ingredients.
never
fresh and-
exotic anyway. Yeah, when we cook, we're always just very, very basic.
Well, actually,
stuff,
most of the
isn't
stuff I used to eat when I was at university,
Yeah.
very basic stuff that you can just like throw in the oven. Like this is like going back to uni
it?
days.
Exactly, exactly.
Wow, I just think it's amazing. I'm so surprised at all of this, like mushroom soup and beans and everything.
Yeah.
Even these wrestler burgers. Talking of uni days.
Basically decided we're gonna stay here in this empty house for the
Yes.
next 2 weeks. We're not gonna go anywhere, maybe just in the garden if we get
Yeah.
really, really sick of like this kitchen, this living room.
Yes.
But we're not gonna go socializing, do nothing, just basically self-isolate ourselves for the next 14 days.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what's gonna happen next.
And also, I forgot to mention, guys, that as of this week, I also lost one of my main clients. They are an investment company, and we all know the state of the stock exchange right now. So for 30 days, I don't have that income coming in. So
Yeah.
I've also kind of lost my job, and obviously YouTube It's going to be difficult to make travel videos, even though obviously I'm going to put out a few videos that we haven't released yet, but still it's not going to be a main focus for us at the moment.
Yeah.
So after our self-isolation, we're thinking to go back to our home city, because we're currently not in our home city. This is St. Neots, about 20 minutes away. We're thinking about finding somewhere to stay, like our own little room somewhere, in maybe a shared house.
So after our self-isolation period ends, Misha is actually thinking of getting herself a job, somewhere maybe working for Amazon or Aldi, just anything to make sure that we have some income coming in, because online jobs are now going down. And I know that you may be thinking, hold on a second, we're all supposed to be staying at home, so how are you gonna work? But hopefully some of these warehouses will have some sort of a rules in place or something like that, so everybody can be safe whilst working during this crazy time. Because what if everything shuts down? Then how are we all gonna survive? I'm sorry, but somebody has to work. And when it comes to my situation, luckily I am still working for my company in China. I'm still
not getting paid though.
I'm still working on italki, so hopefully all of my lessons will continue for both of those platforms. But
I don't have a job really at the moment. So
as it stands right now, guys, we are in a mess, but hopefully we're gonna be okay. And sorry guys, we need to end this video because our camera is flashing at us saying like that's it, no more battery. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I'm sorry if we rambled too much. We really hope that you understood some of it, what was going on in our lives in the last 3, 4, 5 days. But guys, stay safe, stay indoors. Let us know what's your situation like. Comment down below. Follow us on Instagram, as we will try and do some regular updates on there. For now, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna say goodbye, like this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.